Hi, this is WilliamsonSource.com sports editor Steve Peake. Click WilliamsonSource.com tonight for live in-game score updates from all Williamson County Public Schools, plus BGA, BA, FRA, Father Ryan, CPA, and Innsworth. Watch the Jack in the Box wrap-up show and our on-field game reports all this weekend. Monday, it's Franklin Motor Company Sports Source with analysis from Friday night, plus Titans, Preds, SEC, OVC, and MTSU. Thursday, it's our high school preview show, game-by-game previews from all high schools. WilliamsonSource.com, all the sports you live for in Williamson County.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing very well, Steve. Let's start with a game I know that you're going to be at. That's CPA taking on Hillwood. That game's starting right about now, in fact. It's 7 o'clock. And I know for Hillwood, they've had some struggles recently. CPA looked very impressive last week in a win over Brentwood. What do you think?
J.R. Osborne. I know he was your all-specialist of the week.
Yes.
53-yard field goal. This is the guy, and I heard y'all say on Friday Night Finals that he said if he's going to go to the next level, that it'll be because of his right foot and being able to kick those long field goals. CPA, obviously very impressive in their last game against Brentwood. Hockaday had a great game, and that's pretty typical of the CPA team who went to the state championship last season. They're trying to get back there again this year, and I think that they should be able to handle Hillwood pretty easily tonight.
Yeah, CPA very impressive in week 0, and as they get set to take on Hillwood tonight. Another game I know you're going to, Franklin's debut is tonight, Steve. They did not play in week 0. They're taking on Clarksville Northeast. What do you think we should expect from this Franklin team?
Well, first of all, Bryce Mellon, he's their running back, and I heard from some of his teammates, and I think hearing that from your teammates, hearing high praises from your teammates and your peers, that goes a long way. And they said that Bryce really put in a lot of work in the offseason. They're expecting a huge year out of him, and I saw him in the preseason. And what I did see from him in those two scrimmage games that I saw, I mean, he looks good, and he's got some speed on him. Of course, Joe Critchlow is back, and he's looking to put up some big numbers this year. I think that some people last week made some people think Clarksville Northeast is really down this year. But we know that Centennial is going to have a great football team this year. So there's another opportunity for Clarksville Northeast. They might have run into a buzzsaw playing two really good District 11 teams here in Williamson County the first 2 weeks.
We're talking with Steve Peake. He is the sports editor for the Williamson Source. Steve, how can someone follow you guys on Twitter?
Well, it's at Williamson SRC. Follow us on Twitter and also on Facebook. If you follow us on Twitter, you're not going to miss any scores from Williamson County or anybody in our coverage areas. We do cover some teams in Davidson County. So that's at Williamson SRC on Twitter. Yeah, and I've talked a lot about PrepWeekly.com, the website Chris Eakes and I that we've started with high school football. We've linked a few things to WilliamsonSource.com as well. And Steve, that highlight show you guys have, it's kind of a Sports Center-esque online show, is one of the better ones around. I'd really advise people, especially down in Williamson County, to check that out. You guys do a great job with that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we really enjoy it. We know week 0 was definitely hectic. We had several people out of different games and doing the same this week. And, we got guys that are going to be at we're going to be at the Centennial Overton, BGA Father Ryan. That's our game of the week. LTM at Brentwood. So, I mean, we got guys pretty much everywhere. There's several other games we're going to have for that highlight show on Monday. And then our show after Friday Night Finals on 104.5 tonight will be on Williamson Sports. We'll have our live show to wrap up the highlights. Another game to look at here, a Division II 2A game, BGA at Father Ryan tonight. I know that you're going to have a reporter out there, Steve, and I think for Father Ryan, a lot of question marks. How much have they improved coming into this season? And I think the same goes for BGA as well. What do you see in this matchup? Well, BGA, last week looked really good against Coffee County. Clayton Beathard 5 touchdowns, and they got a strong running back of Cleveland. Another good star wide receiver, Marcus Cawthorn. What I'm looking for is Clayton Beathard, his first road game as a quarterback, playing against a tough opponent that's Father Ryan. For them, I talked to Ron Batten earlier this week, and he said that they have to cut down on the penalties. They had tons of those in their week 0 game. Father Ryan, most people probably know this, they had a wild game against Overton last week. Cameron Towns, though, was full under pressure through a game-winning touchdown pass in 29.3 seconds in a game that Overton faked a punt on 4th and 2 from 27 and turned it over after not being able to get the first down. So it was a wild game, and it should be another wild game tonight at Father Ryan. This should be a really good one there. Some other games in the area. Page with a really impressive